Leave it. Yes, good boy. Hello everyone, welcome to your challenge for this week. This week we are going to be learning Leave It, and for those of you whose dogs are already pretty good at Leave It, we will be taking some more advanced steps so that you can participate in the challenges too. If you would like to find out more about our weekly challenges, go ahead and read the description box below and sign up for our mailing list so that you don't miss a challenge. I want to let you know that we are going to have a live class all about teaching an automatic Leave It here in a couple weeks. So you can find the link to sign up for that in the description below. It's only $5, so about the price of a cup of coffee, and we'll have about 15 minutes of instruction and then 15 minutes of live Q&A afterwards. It's going to be pretty cool and a fun way to get some cheap training. With that, let's go ahead and get started. Today I have Melvin with me, who has learned to Leave It just a little bit, so you'll be able to see his learning process. All you're going to need is some low value treats, like some kibble or some dog food, and some high value treats, like some turkey. So the first thing that we're going to do to teach our Leave It is we're going to hold our low value treats in our hand in a closed fist. We're just going to hold it out and wait for our dog to pull their nose away from the treat. So we'll let them lick it as much as they want. As soon as they pull their nose away, we're going to say yes or good, and we're going to feed them the treat from our hand. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. Once your dog is pretty consistent at pulling their nose away from the treat, then you can start to add your cue word. I like to use the word Leave It, and you're just going to say Leave It and present your hand and then treat the same way we were doing before. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Yes, good boy. If you would like your dog to make eye contact with you when you ask them to leave it, you can also wait for that as well. So the next step to teaching the Leave It is to slowly open your hand. So you're going to do the same thing we were doing in the previous step, but you're going to open your hand. If your dog moves towards your hand, you're just going to close the treats up and not allow them to get it. So we're going to say, Leave it. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Yes. Over time, your dog will advance to where Melvin is, where he doesn't even look at your hand, and that's when you know you are ready to start moving your treats down towards the ground. It is important to start in the beginning with super low value treats so that your dog is not as tempted to get the object that we're asking them to leave. So we're going to start slowly moving it closer and closer to the ground. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Once you can get your hand all the way to the ground, you can start to place the treats directly on the ground. The way that we do this is we ask for the Leave It. We place our hand on the ground, kind of like a cover. If our dogs make a move towards the treats, we're going to cover them right back up. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. You always want to make sure when you say Leave It that you are the one handing the treat back to your dog. You don't want them to get them on their own. If your dog already has a pretty solid Leave It on the ground, some ways that you can make this more advanced are using higher value treats like some turkey or some cheese. You could also start asking for a Leave It with the treats on your dog's paws. Another way that you can make this challenge a little bit more advanced is to train a dropped Leave It. So with this Leave It, we are going to be dropping the treats on the floor and asking for a Leave It. Now, this is important to have a leash so that you can prevent your dog from getting the treat that we are asking them to leave. The more that they accidentally get that treat, the more they're not going to understand what Leave It means. So that's why we use our leash. And for this, if you think your dog is going to pull pretty hard towards the treat, you're going to want to use a harness to protect their throat. So all we're going to do is we're going to toss our treat and say Leave It. We're not going to allow them to get the treat, and as soon as they turn back to face us, we're going to say yes or good and feed them a treat from our pouch. So we're just going to say Leave It. Yes, good boy. Then we'll try the process again, and each time we try, the more our dog is going to understand what we are asking. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Yes. Something that can help in this exercise is throwing your low value treats and treating your dog with something like turkey or cheese. With that, we will conclude our challenge for this week. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a video, and I can't wait to see you next week.